Hey everyone, welcome to Daily Revelations. We are in Esther 6, not 6, we're in 8. Anyways, but what we're going to talk about today is these letters that went out, that's spoken about in Esther 8, and really the greater implication that God really revealed to me this morning as reading through this. The first thing that popped out to me was that the first letters that went out, that Haman sent out, were in the first month, the month of Nisan. And if you go back to chapter 3, this is where you read about those first letters that were sent out. And now here we are, almost 3 months later, in the month of Sivan, which is the third month of their calendar. And here, so it took almost 3 months for all of this to come about and be revealed, and Haman's plan to be stopped. The problem is it couldn't be stopped. The king said, I can't revoke a ruling, anything that's happened. But what they could do is they could add to, so that the people, the Jews, could protect themselves. So that's the letter that was sent out. Now here, this letter sent out on the third month, the decree wasn't to come till the 12th month. So they had 3 times the amount of time to now counteract, 9 months to counteract what had been already started in 3 months' time. So that's good news. That's great news. They've got time to, maybe in some places, these provinces it was a huge range, all the way from India to the north part of Africa. So maybe some of these letters just arrived, but of course, it would take a little while to get the new letters out, but faster horses were sent. So that it said that the best horses from the king's choice steed was sent out to send these letters. So, but all of that, and thinking about all of that, at the very end of this chapter, what the author points out is that when the letters were received, this is what what verses 16 and 17 say. There was lightness, gladness, joy and honor, feasting, holidays, and many people decided to become Jews because of all that was going on. They're like, oh, the favors for the Jews. I'm going to decide to become a Jew as well. So they didn't just say, well, it's time to prepare. Let's go. They took time to rejoice. And I think that's the first thing, to step back and say, there's always time to rejoice. But also buried in this is a message for us as Christians, is that in 2 Corinthians 3, verse 3, it says this: you are a letter of Christ, written not with ink, but with the Spirit of the living God, not on tablets of stone, but on human hearts. You are a letter that God writes so that the world can see his good news. That when people come into contact with you, what should be the result? They should have joy and gladness. Is that what you leave? That's a very good question for all of us to consider. Sometimes, a lot of times, I don't. And that's something that definitely is now in my thinking, that this is something I have to remember, is that God has written my story, and it is to him that gets the glory. Am I detracting from the letter he wants me to convey to others because I'm not quite so happy about it? And I haven't found contentment in what God has given me. So, but he wants us to deliver our letters, the things that he's writing on our heart and doing in our lives, to bring joy and gladness to others so that they can see who God is and what he does. And oftentimes we get in the way of that. So that's just some things that I wanted to share today on this chapter. We'll come back around again tomorrow on Esther 8, and who knows what I'll have to share. But hope that you had a good lesson yourself and brought a lot out. I know I'm coming up to the time where we need new planners, and I'm hoping this weekend I will be done. Actually, I'm going to try to finish them for the year, though. It'll be a little different as far as format for the Bible study, but with my cancer and everything that's gone on in the last 3 months, I need to kind of tweak that, and God's really settled that in my heart. So anyways, be expecting that soon. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time on Daily Revelations. Bye, everyone.